My name is Lauren Lapierre Armande, and I'm a 3D character artist at BossAlien on Star Wars Hunters. As a character artist, I basically take a 2D concept and I turn that into 3D character art. So what that means is that I first do like a high poly sculpt, then I take that sculpt into a different software and retopologize it, and I do UVing, and then after that I bake normal maps and the like, and then I take that and texture that and pass it on to an animator or a rigger. So one of the biggest things that I learned from being in my role is definitely that it's really important to really listen to people's feedback and also learn to give good feedback yourself, because at the end of the day you are working with other people, and it's really important to, show interest in what they're saying and show that you're willing to learn from what they're saying as well. A really important part of character art is observation skills. So obviously, because you're making humans or creatures or whatever in between, it's really important to be able to look at kind of real life reference for these things and be able to translate that into 3D and into your work as well. And then on top of that, there's other stuff like maybe the flow. This is especially important in stylized character art. So you want to kind of see how different pieces connect to each other, and kind of like if you can draw a line through that, just form and contrast between big, medium, and small shapes is really important as well. It's also really important to know anatomy as a character artist, because in the end you kind of want to be able to draw from as much real life knowledge that you have in order to make the character look as believable as possible. Some of the stuff I've run into is that people mix up character art with character concept art. So usually when character art is mentioned, it's definitely about making 3D characters. And for a lot of jobs in this field, you wouldn't necessarily be making your own character designs. That might be done by another person, but there's definitely jobs that allow you that as well. So it's a bit about finding what the right role is for you at the right company. Some people don't know how long it takes to create a character as well. It really depends on the game, but it can be a very lengthy process, so it could take a couple of weeks if you're working very quickly to several months. For any art role, I think it's really important to practice basically art fundamentals. So it can be composition, it can be form, it can be color theory. Anatomy for character art is especially important. If you understand anatomy, it's much easier to understand what you're working on. But there's other stuff as well. For example, having some understanding of cloth is very important, because in a lot of character roles you won't just be making characters and creatures, sometimes you also have to make outfits. It can be useful to have an understanding of armor or maybe weapons, or the more you understand and the more knowledge you have, the easier it'll become to make believable game assets.